Hey there, everyone. Before we get started on this podcast, it's time for a big congratulations on behalf of the entire admissions staff to the class of 2025 first-year admitted students. Yay! Now that you're officially in, it's time to dive into all that USC and the Viterbi School of Engineering have to offer. Starting March 31st and continuing throughout April, we're hosting 6 exclusive on-campus events. So choose a weekend or weekday that works for you. And if you're not able to visit campus, that's no problem. Our admission team is hitting the road with events in over 15 locations, both domestic and international, to connect with you where you are. For all the details and registration links, visit viterbi.link/admit events. That's viterbi.link, LINK/admit events, ADMITEVENTS. Don't miss out.
This is Viterbi Voices.
Coming to you from the University of Southern California, Viterbi School of Engineering.
We're here to give you the inside scoop on research, classes, student life, and so much more.
All of these shared by students, faculty, alumni, and other members of the USC community. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Viterbi Voices podcast. I'm your host, Safia Patel. I'm a senior studying computer science and doing my master's in engineering management. Today, Paul is unfortunately, again, not able to join us. He's traveling all over the world. I believe right now he's in India. And I know I say this every week, but I'm pretty sure he should be joining us next episode. Don't quote me on that because I've said that for like 3 episodes in a row and he hasn't been here. But hopefully we'll have Paul back soon. But in the meantime, we have another lovely co-host joining us. Jessica, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, I'm Jessica. I am currently a freshman in aerospace engineering. Some of my involvements are Society of Women in Engineering, the Rocket Propulsion Lab, and I'm part of University Choir.
Oh, wait, what instrument do you play?
I'm a singer. I love to sing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
oh, I thought you said like band, not choir in my head. I'm so sorry. I'm so like
Oh, you're all good.
spacey right now. Have you been playing or have you been singing like all your life, or did you just like join in USC? How did it go?
Yeah, I've been singing like basically since I was in 3rd grade, and I did like musical theater and choir all throughout middle school and high school, and I came to USC and I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to like join a big choir and to just like take advantage of all the like opportunities the music school gives students.
If you had a dream role for a musical, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, this is really hard. Wait, I have to think.
No, take your time.
Okay, honestly, low-key, Fiona and Shrek the Musical, because I love Shrek
Oh,
so much.
interesting.
And it's just like, I know it's today. Like, I don't know. I love it. It's like such a good song. But yeah, or maybe like one of the Schuyler sisters in like Hamilton, just because I love Hamilton so much. But maybe
I
those.
would love to be like Angelica.
Yes, yes.
Like I don't think I could handle Eliza respectfully, like she does too much, but I think I would kill it. I can't sing, but if I could sing,
Yeah.
I think I would kill it as Angelica, not Peggy for sure. Like she gets like 2 seconds of screen time.
No, Peggy is like definitely like I don't know, the last person.
God sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you tell the audience what your episode today is about?
Yes, actually. So, like speaking on university choir, I am like super into the arts alongside like pursuing like my engineering degree. And I wanted to talk to a few other like people who are also like have a little side hustle, a little extracurricular in the arts. Um, I'm interviewing 3 freshmen who are like they have engineering majors and have like they're like one of them is in band, one of them is in acapella choir, and the other one is in like the concert band and student symphony. So it's like just getting a range of like people who are like have engineering disciplines but also are like focused on their like musical pursuits.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to be handing the mic right back to you.
I'm your host, Jessica Patrice, and I'm going to be interviewing 3 freshmen who are in engineering and have extracurriculars in the arts. To start off with, I am a aerospace engineer, and I am currently involved in university choir. I'm interviewing Emma, Norah, and Alan. This is Emma.
Hi, my name is Emma. I am in astronautical engineering, and I am a freshman here at USC, but I am involved in acapella here.
This is Norah.
Hi, my name is Norah. I'm a freshman in electrical and computer engineering, and I'm also part of the clarinet section of the Trojan Marching Band.
And this is Alan.
Hi, I'm Alan. I'm an astronautical engineering freshman as well. I play tuba in Trojan Marching Band as well as Student Symphony.
Okay, to get started, what got you into the arts?
Okay. So in high school, I was just extremely involved in the arts. I was in choir, I was in the musicals, I was in a vocal jazz group that had like 8 people in it. I was in acapella, so I did a lot of music. I've been singing my entire life. It's kind of just like always been something that I knew I was like more than decent at, so I kind of just took it and ran with it, and it became like one of my true loves, and it's just really dear to my heart, and music has just really become intertwined in my life over the years.
I think I really became passionate about music in middle school. I went to a middle school where the vibe was very much music is cool. Everybody I knew was in music, everybody I knew was in band or orchestra or drumline or something like that, which is, I don't think it's an experience that I've seen in like a lot of media or a lot of like
Yeah, for sure.
It was kind of special. Jimi Hendrix went to the high school by my house, and Quincy Jones saved our music program a couple times. So it was very, like, music was everything.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to be a part of. And we were just always told, like, where music can get you.
Yeah.
And even if it's not, like, your main thing that you do, it's important to still continue on.
Mm-hmm.
And also I've just been interested in fine arts, like drawing and painting my whole life too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it's also like kind of environmental. I think when I was like 4 years old, I asked my parents for like some drumsticks and like drum lessons, I guess, and they kind of supported it, so that was like one big thing. But then, ultimately I started playing tuba. I was, certified band nerd all throughout middle school and high school, and I was just like, I love this. I started taking lessons and realized again, I could be pretty good at it. And, it's just been kind of one of the loves of my life ever since, I guess.
Yeah. I would say, like, similar to what you guys are saying, that in, like, 3rd grade, I had my school was, like, very much into, like, you want to be very well-rounded, music, arts, athletics, the whole, like, shebang. And in 3rd and, like, 4th grade, I had this music teacher, and she was super passionate about, like, teaching kids music and getting them involved in, like, singing and musical theater and playing different instruments, and that really, like, inspired my love of music. And in middle school and high school, I did like choir, a cappella choir, and like musical theater. And although like it might have not seemed like that cool, but I just like meet people at USC who are also like into that too. And like we can just like have sing-alongs, do like little karaoke's to Wicked. Like it's just so fun. Like you get to meet people who are also passionate about the things that you love as well. Okay. So how do you balance, because we're all engineering majors, I feel like one of the biggest questions people ask is how do you balance your rigorous engineering workload and like make time to practice for like whatever arts extracurriculars you're doing or like go to rehearsals and that kind of thing?
It definitely is a lot of work. Like I'm not going to downplay that. It's a lot, and sometimes it does get overwhelming, especially maybe like exam season. Mm-hmm. But just what helps me is I just always put stuff in a calendar, and I always leave out time to practice, and I like put down my tasks. Like it's part of my homework, like I go over this music, like let's try to learn this. I prioritize that as much as I prioritize my homework. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree about scheduling and planning your time, and just knowing that both of these things are important to me and I want to make time for both of them. And a lot of times art and music and everything and being in these spaces can be such a great outlet for engineering and all the stress that I'm experiencing. I made so many great friendships in band, and it's a good break as well sometimes.
Definitely.
Yeah, and just to go off of that, like, it's nice to have an opportunity to do something where, you know, at least with marching band, it's not that the expectations are necessarily lower, but, you know, it is a bit of a moment to de-stress. And I find it actually even makes me more efficient, because if I know that I'm going to be, you know, 2-hour rehearsal 3 times a week, and then Saturdays are the games, well, I know that I have to really lock in and, you know, get the work that I need to get done, you know, when I'm not at rehearsal. So it in a sense helps me to stay focused, I'd say, actually.
Hey everyone, it's Brooke here. This message is for all our awesome high school juniors or even younger students out there that are curious about what the Viterbi School of Engineering is all about. We've got a great opportunity for you. Our on-campus Visit Viterbi experience sessions are the best way to get to know more about our programs. It's a 90-minute session focused on first-year applicants. It includes an overview of our academic programs and admission process led by one of our very own USC Viterbi admission counselors. To get more information and to register, visit our webpage, viterbi.link/events, viterbi.link/events, events. We can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, I would say like same kind of thing. Like if I know I'm going to be busy, then it forces me to get my work done early and to like stay on top of my stuff. I think one of the biggest things that's helped me is like Google Calendar and like blocking out, as you said, like as Emma said, like blocking out time to like do homework and then like practice like my music. Because that's one of the biggest things that will like make you successful is like if you know how to manage your time. But that all comes with like trial and error. Like nobody's perfect at that, and you get to like see what works for you and like what doesn't work and adjust based on that.
Yeah, and also just like to add to that, there have definitely been times where I've had to like miss practice last minute because I've just been so overwhelmed with work, and I'm just like, okay, like I really can't go to practice today. Like I really need to focus on school, and like that's okay, that'll happen.
Yeah.
And I learned from that, you know, like I learned, okay, so next time I am going to just start studying a day earlier.
Yeah.
And it'll be good.
There's always sacrifices involved, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so what is something cool you've done recently?
Okay, I think the most recent thing I've done for acapella was Acapalooza, which was like, I don't know, it felt so geeky, but it like brought my heart so much joy. It was basically just all of the USC acapella groups and the UCLA acapella groups coming together in Tommy's house, and we just like performed for each other, and we were all just like yapping before, and just like the energy was so fun. Everyone was like singing, everyone was dancing, like they were playing music from Pitch Perfect, and it was like such a fun experience. We did actually have to, we went around the room for each group, and we had to like sing our group name everybody. So we did like sirens, 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 and it was just like so, like I said, like it felt so geeky, but it was like, oh, I love this.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like embrace the geek, like
Embrace
the
it.
Pitch Perfect.
Yes.
But yeah, and it was just so fun to like come together and see everyone perform. Everyone did amazing. Like stuff like that is always just so fun. It was really chill. Like everyone's supporting each other. It was just like a really good, wow, like I love this community moment. So,
Yeah. And wait, like to ask you just like a follow-up question, like what is like one of your favorite like mixes that you've like sang in acapella? I know that's a hard one.
Wait, hold on. Okay, there's actually a lot, but
you can name as many as you want.
Okay. So right now we're doing a Lizzie mashup, a Lizzie McAlpine mashup.
Oh.
And that one's really good. I really like that. We're going to be performing that at the, what's it called? The LA Times Book Fair.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
26th, we're going to be performing that. And then
Exciting.
there's also a girls mashup, so it's just like a bunch of songs that have girls in it. The transitions are so good. Like my music director, she ate that composition up. Oh my god. So we have like Girl on Fire, like Who Run the World, It Girl, like
Yes.
TGIRL.
Wait,
so
I love that.
But yeah, those are like, I think those two are my favorite.
Yeah. That sounds really cool. What about you, Nora? What's like the most recent thing that you've done?
I was actually just part of the Trojan concert band, not a marching band, their production of Six, the musical in concert. And it was special this year because we've never done a collaboration with a theater school like that. So we were putting on a musical, but like the pit orchestra is on stage and it's still a band concert. But we still had singers out there like in their sparkly costumes, and we were in the back sometimes clapping, sometimes we had little parts to sing along. And it was just unlike anything I had done before, because a lot of the band concerts I've done is just like you sit there straight back, like not as much audience interaction, is not as much being able to like be a part of this insane production. Yeah, it was amazing, and I can't wait for next year.
No, I will say I went to go see it, and it was like nothing I've ever seen before. It was so cool. Yeah, no, it's like, it was amazing. And I wish y'all had more nights of it, because like,
yeah,
I would have loved to go like 3 nights in a row, because that was so cool. And it's just like so engaging seeing y'all like in the band, like clapping along, as you said, like singing along, and like getting into the show, because I feel like it's like so many times the orchestra is kind of just like in the background, and then it's like then the show, but then it's like you guys are part of the show.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it was super fun to watch, and like, I don't know, it was like amazing. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it was so fun to be a part of.
Yeah. What about you, Alan?
I think like recently, the most meaningful thing that I've gotten to do is just play at the different like admitted students events days, and just like people touring USC, because I think those are the gigs that like really draw people into like music and into USC. And I think the job is like, the marching band is to channel that, spirit of Troy or whatever. I guess I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but like, it's like, that's our job. And I think that those kinds of events are really when we get to go out into the public. I mean, besides like the football games where people see us, like this is where it's a little bit more intimate. You can kind of see the faces of the audience members, and it's kind of cool. So it was just particularly meaningful to me. I love seeing people's like reactions, whenever we're like playing one of our like rock charts or something, and people are kind of vibing to it. And then actually, I mean, not in the past, but rather tomorrow night we have the Student Symphony has the spring semester concert, so we'll be playing some selections from like the How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack.
Oh, fun! Yeah.
We're doing some selections from Dvorak, New World Symphony. So this is actually where my like main interest lies. I've mostly usually played in orchestras. So,
yeah.
I guess I'm pretty excited for that. So.
Yeah, sounds really fun. Yeah. Also on that, I have a choir. My university choir concert is actually tonight. It's our like big spring concert. I'm going to it after this. Going to the rehearsal after the interview. Yeah, but yeah. And it's like I'm very excited for that. We've been rehearsing the entire semester. We rehearse like Wednesdays from 7 to 9. So it's just like going to be so exciting seeing all the people like I've got to grow close with and like rehearse like these past like 14 weeks, these past 14 weeks.
Wow.
And we get to like put on what we've been like working so hard for every single Wednesday night. And I'm like super stoked. We got some like cool stuff going on. We have like a sing-along, Lean On Me sing-along, like popped in the middle of there. We're doing like everything from like Brahms to a little Rise Up mashup. I'm so excited for that. But I'm just like, I'm just like, I can't wait to perform with such a big choir, because like all my choirs in high school were usually pretty small, but university choir is like, I want to say around like 70-ish people, or maybe like, no, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 90, but it's all different majors, all different grade levels. Like there's some masters and PhD students in there who like, and you don't have to be a music major, like you can be literally any major, but I think it's just really, really cool to be part of that. Okay, then we have what got you interested in the specific USC arts extracurricular you're in right now?
For me, I just kind of knew that I wanted to get involved in the music here, like some sort of music program here, but I didn't really have like an outlet like to get my information from, so I relied a lot on my sweet mate who's a musical theater major, and so she like invited me to All Hail at the beginning of the semester, where like all of the acapella groups come together at the like acapella house and just like perform, and people just like show up and it's really casual, and that was like the first time I actually heard them sing, and I was like, wait, like this could actually be really fun. But I did just like look stuff up by myself as well, because I was thinking, at the beginning of the year I wanted to do vocal jazz because I really enjoyed that in high school, but then I realized that the auditions were like before we even got to school, and all of the actual vocal jazz majors would be auditioning, so I would basically be up against people who are literally doing that for their living. And I was like, okay, so maybe that's not for me. Like,
maybe something more chill.
For me, like that's okay. But I really just relied on like my music friends. I asked them a bunch. I was like, can you just update me? I just followed a bunch of groups on social media and like searched up musical theater stuff just like for updates, and it was nice to have my friend, her name's Kelly, who's in musical theater, to be like, hey, like if there's any freshman shows coming up, can you just let me know? That never happened because that's probably too much work for me to be in a musical right now.
That's a lot. Like with your course load too, that's really...
So that's also probably not in the cards for me, but that's okay because I ended up in Sirens and I love it.
Yes,
So social media, basically. Yeah. That's a good way.
Okay, cool.
For me, looking back to when I was choosing a school, I didn't really think about how important it would be to me to have like an ensemble or some kind of music group that's open to all majors. And it's crazy that that's such a big part of my experience here at USC, and that I wasn't even really thinking about that. Because it's all like, what am I going to major in? Like, what's the best school for this program? But that's only like half of my experience. And once I did think like, what do I want to be a part of? What do I want to continue from high school? I found the TMB. And I'm just so glad that I get to be a part of it, and I feel so lucky that it is open to everybody and that we have such an incredible organization here.
I mean, I think definitely, just when I was applying to USC and when I was admitted, it was clear that we had a really good marching band, and that obviously, caught my attention as someone who had already played music and been involved with music. And so I actually, I wasn't fully set on joining TMB until like pretty much just before band camp, because I was like, how am I going to balance it? How am I going to do it all? But, it ended up being fine, and I guess I learned about it just through that kind of the admissions process, and I got involved with the student symphony thanks to some friends actually in the tuba studio in Thornton, as well as I think I looked up like their Instagram and I thought, oh, this is cool, so I reached out to the artistic director, so and he they needed a tuba, so that was that, and it's been great.
I would Yeah, and I also wanted to like ask y'all like because about the involvement, but like how specifically was there an audition process for the group that you're involved in? Because I know there's like some groups do auditions, some groups don't. Like, just talk a little bit about that.
So for me, there was an audition process for acapella, even like the ones that are supposed to be more so like not as stressful, like not as big of a commitment. As like maybe like SoCal vocals.
Yeah.
But yeah, it honestly was really nerve-wracking, and I've never been through like an audition process like that. It definitely was like out of my comfort zone because I mean like I had done auditions in high school, but like it was really only for musicals.
Yeah.
And I only did 2 musicals in high school because like my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I had softball at the same time as my musical was going on, so I always chose softball until my senior year. And that was the first time I really went through that process and experienced that kind of like putting myself out there. But yeah, it definitely is kind of competitive. I now being in the group, I've talked to some of the like seniors who led the audition process, and they're saying that they look for like personality and how you're gonna fit into the group, as well as like your tone, how well can you mix, but also your solo voice. So there's definitely like a lot of
factors. Yeah. What about you, Norah? Was there like an audition process? Because like I know concert band versus like you're talking about band camp earlier. Like, can you talk about a little bit about that process?
Yeah, so for marching band, there is no audition process, at least for my section. I think, like song and spirit, and I think also the drum line, they have auditions to like assign parts, and also like for cheer, there's audition. But for us, there's none, and you also don't have to have any musical experience. And I know the band like advertises that a lot, but it's true. Like I know one of my closest friends in the band, she's never played the clarinet before, and she's learning, she's gotten a lot better, like we help her, and like you just go and you learn and you march and you make friends, and it's great. For concert band, there was an audition process because it needed to be a smaller group this year just for the show that we were putting on. So it was just, we were sent out some music to learn, and then you go and play it for the director, and then like parts are decided, and whether or not you get in is decided. I know for my section they only took 4 people. But it's always hard to put yourself out there, especially for an audition. But there was a moment when I was honestly not going to go. I felt it was a midterm week for me, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I haven't been able to give it the time that it needs. But I went anyway. I was like, it's okay. I know this is important to me, and I want to make time for this. So I went for my audition. I had like 20 minutes in between classes. I was like, I'm just going to go do it. I did it. It went well. First chair clarinet. Like,
yes, ma'am.
Just go for it. Just try. Like, you never know what's gonna happen.
Very true. Yeah. And absolute worst comes to worst. Like, you don't get the part, and you audition for a different show. You audition for next year. Like, you're like stay in the band. Like, there's no like bad. You're not being kicked out of the school. No. Yeah. What about you? How was your process, like student symphony?
So, I mean, I'd say for student symphony particularly, there is an audition process. Like, it's pretty organized. It's kind of managed. Like, it's actually totally student-led.
Oh, cool.
So, they manage it from their end. There's some excerpts, some auditions. At least in my case, actually, I just kind of sent in I may have sent in some recordings or something, but they were kind of looking for a tuba last minute, so I got the job, and I did a good enough job that they kept me around, so
amazing.
That's kind of how it worked. And then with the marching band, obviously, no audition, but I don't know, I'd say band camp is a bit of a weed out in a sense, because you gotta stick to it, and put up with it for the week, and it's well worth it, but it's definitely a lot of work, so you gotta put in the effort.
I would say like for university choir, I know it's a non-audition choir. It's a class through the Thornton School of Music, so you can sign up for it on your registration. I'm taking the class unregistered because I'm like already taking 18 units like of my other classes, but I just like there's no like other process other than like you show up, you like attend the class, you have your music and that kind of thing. I know there's some choirs in Thornton that are like concert choir and the like chamber choir, chamber singers. They are audition choirs, but I believe they're also, you can also audition for them as a non-music major. Just a lot of them are music majors because it's like one of their class requirements. So you're going to like run into people who are music majors. Like there's some people in my university choir that are like master's students that are like oboists that are required to take a choir class just because, you know, like they have to like end up playing for some choirs, or like organists that like have to play for choirs and they have to like be in a choir to like see the other side so they can like better mesh with the choirs they play for. It's actually really interesting. But so that's like kind of the process. But there's like some groups that are definitely higher stress, higher audition, like they are more intense and like they practice more times a week. And then there's some groups that are very chill. They meet up maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, that are just like coming together, that are not auditioned. Okay, and then I wanted to ask y'all about what advice do y'all have to tell people who want to pursue engineering but also maintain their musicality?
I would probably say that I feel like you definitely shouldn't not do it just because you think that you're going to be too busy with engineering. I feel like, honestly, for me, like, I had to still be involved in music just because up until this point, it's always been such a big part of my life. And even in high school, I took a lot of STEM-heavy courses, like AP classes, and music was always just my little break, you know, just my time to wind down and do something that I loved. And not to say that I don't love engineering, but it is, it's a lot of work. It is. It's a lot of work, and it's definitely overwhelming at times. But, like, the reason why I really liked USC is because when I came for an admitted students day and I heard, like, that Viterbi had talking, like, he really emphasized that they want their engineers to not just be engineers. Like, they want you to be involved in other things. And I definitely feel like I have been able to do that. But I will say you definitely just have to expect to have to make some sort of sacrifice. Like, it's kind of impossible not to. Yeah. But it's not going to be cut out of your life forever, so.
Yeah. I would just say that doing both is possible, and to always just like give it a shot. Like, you don't know if you're gonna have time for dance, you don't know how this audition is gonna go, but you also don't know if you don't try. So true. Like, maybe it won't work with your schedule, maybe you won't get in, but it's always worth a shot. And if it's important to you, I like keep it in your life, because you can meet new people, you try new things, there's all these experiences that can come from it. And also just exercise is a different part of your brain, which is fun. Like, just try. Yeah,
I mean, I think, like, for me in particular, I was looking at studying music and, you know, making that my career, per se, right? And then, you know, I decided to do engineering, but the special thing about music is that you can be often, you know, like a professional musician, but you can't also be an engineer. But as an engineer, you can still be a very talented and, you know, capable musician through even like thinking post-graduation from college, and once you're just working and whatnot. Like, there's community orchestras and there's all kinds of opportunities to you know, keep enjoying music and keep providing music for others. And I think that college is a great time to cultivate, you know, your talent or maintain your talent. So at least for me, that's kind of how I like to think about it. And at the end of the day, like music is about performing and sharing. I think connecting with other people. And I think that if you can just keep that in mind and take every opportunity to play that comes your way, like that could be a very productive way of expressing yourself musically. So.
Yeah, I would say one of my biggest pieces of advice I would give is just like, I feel like what I came to USC to find was my community, and like I found my community within engineering, and like specifically like finding a community in music is so special because it's like you make, whether it's like you're playing in a symphony, you're playing in a band, you're singing together, it's all like a connection, and it's like beyond just like you're all together like doing physics problems together, you're like connected on like a deeper level, and I think it's just so fulfilling, like making beautiful music together. And it's like I think USC is so special that you can do that. Like we can all be engineers and be successful, but also like participate in all these other music extracurriculars, and it's just like so cool. You can't say that about a lot of schools that are like big tech schools where you can only pursue like your STEM majors. But that's like what I've really enjoyed about. And I would say, yeah, as like Norah said earlier, just like put yourself out there, be brave, and like take the chance. Like you never know what could happen. You never know what opportunities you're missing out on if you don't put yourself out there and like attempt to do something. Like even if you just have like a single thought about it, like go ahead and try it out. But thank you guys so much for being here and letting me parade y'all with questions. This has been great. And signing out for the podcast. Thank you.
And we're back. Thank you, Jessica, for that lovely episode. I feel like freshmen or admitted students, a lot of the time, they'll be asking, like, can I explore all my different interests when I get here? Like, I'm interested in music, I'm interested in sports, I'm interested in God knows what, honestly. All of them are up to different things. But I think they get a little scared about managing their time here. So I'm sure they're going to love this episode about all of you combining your interest in music with your engineering background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely going to be a balance, but like as we talked about in the episode, you can manage your time. It's so doable, especially being at USC. It's like very encouraged to pursue things outside of engineering.
And you're wrapping up your first year as a freshman. How would you say that balance went for you?
I would say it definitely was a lot of trial and error. There were some weeks where I had to make some sacrifices of should I be going to rehearsal, or should I like spend an extra 2 hours doing like working on my like MATLAB homework or something. And yes, like it's not every single week I have to make that sacrifice, but just you have to know like your priorities and determine like which work comes first. Like obviously music is a big part of that, but like you're an engineering student and you got to like focus on like what you need to manage most.
If you could start your freshman year over again, what's one piece of advice you would tell yourself?
I would definitely say get locked in on Google Calendar and like making a huge Google spreadsheet of like all my assignments like at the beginning of the semester. Just so like I have a planner, like a written planner, but sometimes you forget to check it or you don't update it that much or the syllabus changes and stuff for classes. So like if you have a Google Calendar, like an online digital like planner or digital calendar, it's so much easier to update like everything and stay like 100% on top of your stuff.
Oh, I get that. I feel like I've been lacking on that lately because I'm a senior right now, and usually my
Yeah.
Google Calendar is like color coded, it's perfect. And right now I'm like, I don't even know when I'm supposed to be at class anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
I would definitely recommend that. I think that was like the first thing that helped me also get organized when I first started at USC. But thank you so much. I'm sure the prospective and admitted students will love to hear your episode and get all the advice from you guys. Hopefully we see you on future episodes. And thank you for tuning in to the Viterbi Voices podcast. See you all next week. Thank you so much.